The only way I can explain it is the chefs in the kitchen example of when you're cooking something and you're creating your manifestation in that kitchen. If you've got the purest, amazing vibes around it, like stress-free, you're gonna be having fun, creating that recipe, that meal, and it's gonna feel amazing. But when you've got 10, 20 people, thousands of people, if you're on here, looking at that too and having their input, say, oh, I don't think you're doing that quite right, or actually I think you should put this seasoning in without your permission, or do you know what I mean? Like, look at it like energetics are so important. Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today's video is all about why we should protect our manifestations, why we should create a sacred container and not share our manifestations. Now, this was something that really came into my awareness, gosh, maybe about a year and a half ago. A good friend told me about this, and at first I was like, ooh, okay. And then I started trying it, and then I started trying it more. And over the last year and a half, I've really seen massive changes in my life, in all areas of my life, by doing this practice. So with manifestation, it's so exciting to share those things, share our intentions and what we're working on and when things happen. And like, you know, we all love good positive news, right? Most of us love seeing people's positive, happy news. And I love watching people's success stories. I love, you know, all of these things just because it gets me feeling excited. It gets me feeling positive. And I love seeing people happy. Like, I'm such a crier. Anytime I watch like a really happy video, like someone's manifested something amazing or whatever, I just cry. So for me, like, I love just feeling all those good feels for everybody and seeing people happy, because that just, you know, magnetizes even more into my life when I'm feeling that happiness and I'm feeling that joy for somebody else. So I love videos like that. And a lot of the time, you know, it's after the event, right? Once that thing's manifested. But a lot of people I also see sharing their vision boards on YouTube, on like, you know, online, saying like, do my vision board with me and blah, blah, blah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If people love doing that and it feels good to them, then absolutely we should do it, right? What I found I really struggled with in my manifestation journey was obviously having a very public life. And, you know, I have a YouTube channel, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on pretty much every social media channel. And you guys know I've been so open and I've shared so much over the years on my manifestation journey. And it's always, you know, I've always enjoyed doing that. I've always felt that that's what I wanted to do until a year and a half ago. And after that point, things really shifted in my life because I feel like I shared so much of my journey. I shared so much of my last relationship, even though I felt like I didn't. I actually did share a lot as well. And, you know, when that relationship broke down, it was really hard because I was met with so much over those few years on YouTube specifically, and on Instagram as well, actually. And I really learned, I guess, the challenging side of putting your life out online, I guess that I saw the positives of it and I saw the shadow side of it as well, essentially. And my friends said to me, create that sacred container. Like, don't talk about things, don't share your intentions, and create a sacred container. So what we did is we created a little WhatsApp group, just me and my friends, so 3 of us together. And instead of telling people, you know, oh, I'm working on this, or oh, this is happening, I just kept things more private. And this goes in my friend group as well, not just on YouTube, but like even my friend group, I just kept my manifestations, my intentions, and what I was working on purely to that group of us 3. And we would just share things, and we would share gratitude, and we would celebrate each other, and we would just create such a positive group of positive energy and really good vibes. And it was just the 3 of us. And as soon as I brought that energy back into the 3 of us, massive things started changing. And instead of like, I don't know, like if something goes wrong in your day and you just like complain and you tell your friends, instead of doing that, I didn't do any of this. I literally just kept it to this sacred container, whether it was frustrations, whether it was just like talking about your day, whether it was manifestations and intentions, everything went in this group. And it was a beautiful energy where we all knew we held the highest intent, like highest good for all of us. And we honestly and truly wanted every single one of us to succeed and be happy. So we knew it was a really pure group of really positive vibes and good intentions. And we still do it now. So I really loved this, and this is why I added this into my manifesting challenge this year, this practice, because I really loved it, and I loved it so much and could see the positives and see this massive shift in my life that I was like, people need to do more of this. And the queens who have done this year in the free manifesting challenge I do in January have messaged me and told me like, whoa, these groups work. These abundance groups absolutely work, and they work because you're protecting the energy. And obviously you need to make sure you have the right kind of people in there, right? So, you know, these two people I trust with my life, and I know that we all absolutely want the best for each other without ego, without anything. So who you have in the group is important, but also keeping it small and intimate is also important. You don't want like 10, 20 people, because again, that's a lot of energy. The reason why I think, or I believe that these work is because the energy is brought back to you. You almost take your power back. But when we tell lots of people things, and especially if you're sharing it online to even more people outside of your intimate circle, there is other energy that then gets involved, if you think about it. And that's not saying that people have bad energy or bad vibes, not at all, absolutely not. But you can think about it, when you've got like too many cooks in one kitchen, as the saying goes, everybody's going to be inputting to that recipe, and actually it's just the main head chef who's like, I'm just trying to cook this, okay you guys, I'm just trying to cook this. And energy can be really subtle. So although we can think that someone has the most highest, purest intentions, like there might be jealousy under that from someone. There might be limiting beliefs and fears that maybe they don't even consciously know about, that is energetically contributing. So the more that you take your power back, and a massive, amazing mantra you can work with is, I reclaim my power. I call back all the lost pieces of myself. I reclaim my power. I take my power back. Every single day we give away our power without even really knowing, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. So just even saying a mantra like that regularly is really, really empowering and great. And when we share our intentions with the big wide world, whether that's on a big scale like this or even just with your friend groups, again, you just don't know. Well, you don't know the energy, right? You don't know what could also be contributing to that. So I feel this is so important to do. And that's not to say like don't share with people, don't tell people stuff, you guys know I still do. It's more sharing it when it feels good to. When it feels good to, right? And I was met with the reality of that. So whilst like 90% of people here on my channel are obviously positive, loving, amazing people, and absolutely had the best intentions, as I was opening up about my manifestation stories, as I was sharing that relationship, as I was sharing, intimate parts of my life, personal parts of my life, I was met with so much support and love, but I was also met with a heck of a lot of hate. And I had comments from people saying that they were psychics and that it wasn't going to work out and that I was delusional and all these negative comments. And you just think, whoa, like I haven't asked you for this. And I would literally have people DM me on Instagram telling me they're a psychic and that basically like I was wrong, I wasn't connected to my intuition, and that, like all this stuff about my relationship, which just was so inaccurate and so not true. And I just thought, this is what? Like, who does that? And a real psychic, a real intuitive, no matter what you sense about someone who you don't know on the internet as well, just FYI, is you just don't say it to them. Like, it's weird. You don't just reach out to someone and say, I have energetically read you without your permission, and here's what I think about your life. No, a true psychic, a true intuitive will not do that, because they will be like, okay, I may feel something or sense something, but it's their journey, it's their life path, like it's their karma and lessons to live out. Like, you don't just go and say that to someone. So it is a form of hate. It is a form of, you know, the negativity that absolutely does exist online. Again, it was a challenging time because I was met with so much support and love, but also that. And if people are reading people against their will, like, that is not good energy. That is not good practice. And any true psychic will tell you that if you are reading someone without their permission, that is a red flag. That is a red flag. So for me personally, it felt like the right thing to do to pull back, to take back my power and take back my energy and safely contain my manifestations and, you know, things in my personal life, and share the things that feel good when they've happened and when it feels right to share those things. And, you know, I also get messages from people saying, well, you're not very good at manifesting then, are you? Because, you know, so and so online's got this relationship, this house, this, that, and like, you haven't got any of those things and you've been manifesting them for years. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you, but I do have those things. I just don't share it online because I don't feel I need to. Like, I don't feel I need to, because it doesn't validate me in any way to say I manifested this or I have this in my life. It just is. Like, the only person it matters to is me, that I know I have those things. So I think we really need to look at why we want people online to share those things. And of course, it's great to celebrate things. Like, I'm always like so happy when people do share stuff, because it's lovely and it's nice and it's inspirational and motivational. But we should also respect that we're never going to fully see 100% of someone's life, because again, people just don't choose to share everything, which is boundaries, it's respect, it's people have a life away from their online platforms as well. So for me, that decision was empowering and it changed my life in the best way, because the container I created with my friends was magical, where amazing manifestations came into my life because I wasn't talking about them. And it really intrigued me, like, why this is a thing, right? Like, oh, okay, like, I'm onto something. So how does this work then? And honestly, the only way I can explain it is the chefs in the kitchen example of when you're cooking something and you're creating your manifestation in that kitchen. If you've got the purest, amazing vibes around it, like stress-free, you're gonna be having fun, creating that recipe, that meal, and it's gonna feel amazing. But when you've got 10, 20 people, thousands of people, if you're on here, looking at that too and having their input, say, oh, I don't think you're doing that quite right, or actually I think you should put this seasoning in without your permission, or do you know what I mean? Like, look at it like energetics. Energetics are so important. And the amount of times psychics have said to me, you need to stop talking about things, and this is with my friend group, because of the energy, you need to just have that sacred container. And it really just brought it back to that divine feminine work as well for me, because with divine feminine work, you know, especially if you have a womb space, when you are birthing and creating things, it is in that sacred container of your womb space. And your womb space, if you have one obviously, is that container for manifestation. We literally put our manifestations, even though we don't literally put them in, but energetically, like, they sit within that space. Just like a baby, you incubate it for 9 months. You know, book writing process is very similar. Me and my author friends have spoken about this. It's a very incubation process where you not hide away, but like, you know, you kind of cocoon away, you write your book and then you bring it into the world when it's ready, and you're like, here's my baby, here's my book baby that I have birthed into the world. So I believe it's very much similar to this, of containing, you know, cocooning that energy in a positive way and being like, I don't actually have to talk about these things with people. And I always remember this famous quote, and I cannot remember who for the life of me said this, but a lot of people say this, that don't tell people about your relationships, don't tell people about your money, and don't tell people about your next move, or something like that, along those lines. And I really do swear by that, because when it feels good to share things, fantastic. That is the right time to share it, when it feels good. But we shouldn't feel like we have to share things out of a place of, oh, I don't want someone to feel like, you know, they've missed out, or I don't want people to feel like I'm not telling them stuff. Like, I see it more in my life, and I experience it more in my life now, and I see why people do it, and I see the benefits of why I do that as well. And again, this video isn't just about like, don't tell anybody anything. It's more about, like I said, creating that abundance group. That's what I call them, abundance groups. So create a sacred container, create a sacred abundance group with just a couple of people who you really, really know is going to be full of good vibes and pure intentions, and have that as your sacred container. And why I think this works as well is because we're all putting positive, pure energy towards each other's desires as well. So we're technically helping each other to manifest, because we're envisioning it for that person. We're seeing it for that person without judgment, without jealousy, without expectations, without anything. We're just like, you know what? I just really want to see you succeed. Like, that is so cool. So the abundance groups changed everything for me, because not only did it bring the power back and really just contained the energy in a really positive way, it was protected. And from that place, the manifestations did happen. And then even then I thought, okay, like, do I need to share this yet? And obviously I've shared my success stories on here, as you guys know, but I haven't shared every success story, because again, I'm like, does that feel good? Does that feel good to me to share? And not all the time it does. And I'm like, it is actually good for us to have a few things that we don't just publicly share on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Because again, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? And for me, I really learned a lesson from that period of my life before with my previous relationship, because I realized that, okay, not everybody is going to be happy for you. There are going to be some people who unsolicitedly try to read you and say they're psychic or whatever they're tuning into. And I just don't need that. I don't need that energy. I don't want that energy around my work. And to be honest, like, I've done so many videos on love. I've done so many things on my channels on all sorts of things. So I thought, yeah, like, do you know what? Some things feel good to, have to myself sometimes. And is that going to be the case forever? Who knows? I don't know. Next year I could be like, you know what? I want to share some other stuff. And then I will. So it's a very intuitive process, what you do feel cool to share and what you don't. And I think really honor that, because it's always the right answer. And that's not to say you have to tell nobody nothing forever. It's just when it feels right to you, when it feels good to you, great, do it. And these abundance groups will really, really help you in this process, because for me, it just feels so nice to have that positive space with my loved ones. It feels so good to have that and see what magic has happened for all of us over that year and a half since we've done it. And to now share that with people of like, hey, these groups really work. Please create them. They work. It feels so nice to see other people seeing those results as well, and seeing other people also realizing, okay, like, as a human race, we're quite oversharers, and that does come from unhealed trauma as well sometimes. Not always, but most of the time. Mine definitely did. So I think it's really important to look at why we feel the need to share things all the time to everybody. Obviously, sharing things with your loved ones, your family, your partner, whatever, like, you know, those are good things. I'm not saying keep everything to yourself and never tell anybody anything. Definitely not. But choosing the right time, choosing the right people, and creating that container will so massively change your manifestation game. There is a reason that the richest people on the earth are saying, don't tell people your next move. Don't tell people this. Like, wait till it's happened and then share your news. And again, that's obviously a very different scale of like spirituality and energetics to millionaires. But it kind of does relate, and I really do see the connection between the two of not everybody's going to have the purest intentions. Not everybody is going to cheerlead you. Not everybody is going to be happy for you. And it's really finding the container which does give you that support, that does give you that positivity, and is going to protect your energy and your desires as they're coming into fruition, as you're incubating them, as you're growing them, as you're bringing them into fruition. And once they're here, Maybe you don't have to share straight away, but if it feels good to, then absolutely do it. So really, this is a discernment. Use your discernment of what would feel best for you. But if you have an abundance group and you do this already, please do let me know what you found, who you do it with, how many people you have in your group. And if you don't, then absolutely create one. And I know a lot of people, especially when we did the challenge, were like, I don't really have any people who are like-minded or who would want to, like, you know, share gratitude, share manifestations. And, you know, in the groups you can voice note. We voice note a lot, where we voice note our day, like we speak it as if it's already happened. We might talk about the excitement of our manifestation, and then they might voice it back and be like, oh my god, I'm so excited, this is going to happen for you. All these different ways, you know, get creative with it. The manifestation process can be so fun and creative as well. So you don't just have to do everything that I'm suggesting. Try something different. Maybe you do video calls in your group, and obviously you can do it on WhatsApp, you can do it on Instagram, on any social media platform where you can have these groups. But just pick a couple of people who are like your ride or dies, you know, who you know are going to have your back. And I did say, you know, please connect with people in the group who are also looking for, you know, like-minded people to create these groups with. So if you do want that, you can obviously join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, or you could also join the Spiritual Queens Manifesting Challenge, which is also a Facebook group for 2022, where obviously a lot of people, we have over like 1,200 people, and a lot of people were looking for people to form these beautiful groups with. So do join these groups, because there are so many amazing like-minded souls who will absolutely be able to do this with you. But again, get to know people. Don't just jump into it. Get to know people, vibe them, you know, see if it feels like a good container to do this with, and trust your intuition. The main message of this video, trust your intuition and protect your energy, protect your manifestations, and when it feels good, to bring it out into the world. And I really do think it's a very analogy of like a baby, of you're nurturing, you're growing that for 9 months, and when you're ready, you do want to show your baby to the world, but maybe you don't want to do that straight away. So again, like, don't think you have to share those things straight away with people. You know, if you want to share that news of that job promotion you've got in a week or two's time, protect it. And sometimes we need to almost just enjoy that energy. Sometimes we just need to actually just enjoy that energy for a while, and then we can be like, yeah, now I've celebrated, now I've just taken the time with my loved ones to just enjoy that. Yeah, now I want to share it. Now I want to say to people, hey, look what I've done, look what I've manifested, or look at this new job or new house or whatever it is you've got. So see it as the chefs in the kitchen analogy. See it as just taking the time to just integrate and enjoy that process for yourself, and see what happens. See what happens when you call back your energy. See what happens when you protect your energy and your intentions, and create these abundance groups and see what magic happens from them as well. But please let me know how you get on in the comments. I would love, love, love to hear if you do this already, or if you're going to try this, because I reply to them all. And any questions you have, please put them in the comments as well. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love, love to see you again soon. Don't forget you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. And don't forget, I've also got 2 videos a week now, every Tuesday and Friday at 6 p.m. So I will see you all on Tuesday for my next video. Lots of love.